Hey friends, welcome back to Figgy in the North, the podcast dedicated entirely to exploring the land of fire and ice. I'm Figgy, and today we're talking about one of the most common concerns I hear from people planning a trip to Iceland. How do I afford this without cutting out everything that makes it special? Because let's be honest, the first time you price out a trip to Iceland, it can feel intimidating. You look at the rental car rates, you browse hotels, you glance at restaurant menus online, and suddenly you're wondering if you accidentally clicked on a luxury travel package instead of a regular vacation. Iceland has a reputation for being expensive, and that reputation is deserved. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. You can absolutely visit Iceland without draining your savings, and without missing out on the magic. The key is understanding where your money actually goes and where it doesn't need to. So today, we're going to break this down in detail, practically, realistically, and honestly. Let's start with a mindset shift. When people say Iceland is expensive, what they're really describing is the cost of services. Restaurants cost more, alcohol costs more, labor costs more, accommodations cost more. But Iceland is not a theme park. It's not a destination where every experience sits behind a ticket booth. The reason you're going to Iceland is for the landscapes, the waterfalls, the glaciers, the lava fields, the black sand beaches, the geothermal steam rising from the earth. And here's the beautiful part. Most of that is free. You can spend an entire day driving along the south coast, stopping at waterfall after waterfall, and pay nothing beyond parking and fuel. You can stand at the edge of a cliff watching Atlantic waves crash against basalt columns without buying a single ticket. So instead of thinking Iceland is expensive, try reframing it as certain conveniences in Iceland are expensive. That distinction changes everything. The three biggest budget drivers. Let's get practical. In Iceland, your money will primarily go towards accommodation, transportation, and food. Everything else, tours, experiences, souvenirs, tends to be occasional spending, not daily spending. If you control those three categories thoughtfully, your trip becomes manageable. Accommodation, your largest lever. Accommodation is usually the single biggest cost in Iceland. Hotels in peak summer can be shockingly high. Even modest rooms in popular regions can stretch a budget quickly. So what are your options? First, book early. Iceland has a limited accommodation supply outside of Reykjavik and a few larger towns. Prices rise as availability shrinks. Second, consider geography carefully. Staying directly in downtown Reykjavik is convenient, but staying just outside the city can reduce your nightly rate. The same goes for countryside travel. Sometimes being 20 minutes outside a major stop makes a noticeable difference. Third, and this is huge, look for places with kitchen access. Even a small kitchenette allows you to prepare breakfast and simple dinners. That alone can save you hundreds over a week. And here's something many travelers overlook. Moving accommodations every single night can increase costs. Each new location might require higher minimum stays or higher rates. Slowing your pace and staying 2 nights in key regions can reduce both expense and exhaustion. Now, I'm not going deep into every accommodation type today, because next week's episode is entirely dedicated to that. We'll break down what truly gives you the best value in Iceland. But for now, remember this. Accommodation choices shape your entire budget. Transportation, freedom versus structure. Transportation is your next major decision. Most travelers rent a car in Iceland. And while rental cars are not cheap, especially in summer, they provide unmatched flexibility. If you're planning to explore beyond Reykjavik, especially along the ring road or into the countryside, renting a car often becomes more cost-effective than booking multiple guided tours. Think about it this way. 2 full-day guided tours can easily cost the same as several days of car rental. When you drive yourself, you're combining transport and sightseeing into one cost. Fuel isn't cheap, so map your route efficiently. Avoid backtracking when possible. Group nearby attractions together. And if you're traveling with a partner or friends, splitting the rental cost dramatically lowers your individual expense. If you're only staying in Reykjavik and doing 1 or 2 structured day trips, compare prices carefully. Sometimes a short rental period plus 1 guided tour is the sweet spot. The goal isn't to automatically choose the cheapest option. It's to choose the option that delivers the most value for your style of travel. Food, where small decisions add up. Food is where Iceland quietly surprises people. It's not that one meal will ruin your budget. It's that 3 restaurant meals a day over 7 days adds up fast. So here's a strategy that works beautifully in Iceland. Blend grocery stores with intentional dining experiences. Icelandic grocery stores are excellent. You'll find fresh bread, skyr, smoked fish, hearty soups, cheese, fruit, and quality coffee. You can eat well without sitting in a restaurant constantly. Breakfast is the easiest place to stay. Skyr and fruit, toast and butter, coffee at your accommodation. Simple, satisfying, affordable. Lunch makes a fantastic picnic opportunity. Iceland's scenery turns even a basic sandwich into an unforgettable moment. Sitting beside a glacier lagoon or overlooking a waterfall with a packed lunch feels magical, not restrictive. Then every couple of days, choose a restaurant that excites you. Maybe it's a cozy harbor spot. Maybe it's modern Icelandic cuisine. Maybe it's a warm bowl of lamb soup after a cold day outdoors. By spacing out restaurant visits, they feel meaningful, not routine. And let's talk briefly about alcohol. Alcohol in Iceland is heavily taxed. Bar tabs rise quickly. So instead of defaulting to nightly drinks, choose one evening. Find a place with atmosphere, enjoy it fully. Or buy some at duty-free on the way in and enjoy it at your accommodations. Intentional spending always feels better than habitual spending. Paid experiences. Choose 1 or 2 that matter. Iceland offers incredible guided experiences. Glacier hikes, ice cave tours, whale watching, snowmobiling, horseback riding. These are memorable. They're powerful. They're often worth it. But you don't need to do all of them. Choose 1 or 2 that align most with your curiosity. If you've never walked on a glacier before, maybe that's your splurge. If you're fascinated by marine life, maybe it's whale watching. When you select your splurges before arriving, you remove impulse decisions. You're not reacting emotionally to price tags. You're following a plan. And that's how you protect both your wallet and your joy. The power of free days. One of the smartest budgeting moves in Iceland is building entire days around free exploration. A waterfall day, a scenic drive day, a hiking day, a photography day. Some of the most breathtaking stops in Iceland require nothing but curiosity and time. When your itinerary alternates between self-guided exploration and one paid highlight, your trip feels full, not financially draining. The psychology of spending in Iceland. There's something psychological that happens in an expensive country. You either become hyper-cautious, second-guessing every purchase, or you surrender and overspend because everything feels expensive anyway. Neither feels good. Instead, ask one question before spending. Does this deepen my experience of Iceland? If the answer is yes, if it connects to why you came, then it's likely worth it. If it's convenience, impulse, or pressure, maybe it's not. Budgeting isn't about minimizing, it's about aligning. A realistic daily rhythm. Imagine this. You wake up in a countryside guest house. You make a simple breakfast. You pack sandwiches. You drive along a scenic stretch of road, stopping at waterfalls. You hike for a few hours. You eat lunch overlooking the open landscape. That day costs fuel and groceries. The next day, you join a glacier hike. That's your splurge. It's thrilling. It's unforgettable. Then the following day is slower again. Scenic stops, coastal walks, photography. This rhythm, mix, splurge, balance, is how you save without missing out. Final thoughts. Iceland is worth planning well. If Iceland has been sitting on your dream list, but the cost has scared you, I want to leave you with this. Iceland rewards thoughtful travelers. When you prioritize what matters, blend free nature with intentional experiences, and control your big expenses, the country becomes accessible. Not cheap, but accessible. Create your joy budget before you go. Write down the 3 experiences you care about most. Choose one meal you'll happily splurge on. Decide where you'll intentionally save. Let your money support your wonder. And if this episode made Iceland feel more possible for you, share it with someone who keeps saying, I want to go, but it's too expensive. Because the waterfalls don't check your bank balance before they impress you. Make sure you're subscribed to Figgy in the North, because next week we're diving deep into staying overnight, hotels, guest houses, cabins, and camping. And if you want to truly master your Iceland budget, that episode is essential. Thank you so much for being here. This is Figgy, and I'll see you next time in the North.